Drifting. It's a subject that practically everybody knows something about. Even non-petrol heads these days will know about drifting. But drifting is something that, although a lot of us know a lot about it, many of us couldn't do or have never experienced. This is because modern day road cars have got super sticky tyres and they've got electronic brains and electronic stability programs that stop the car from going out of control. Back in the day when cars had absolutely no nannies and older tyre technology, getting a car into a drift or a slide was not achievable. Let's just not say fairly easy. It was achievable far easier than it would be with a road car today. Now, some people say the popularity of drifting that came from Japan was made big by films like the Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift, but I actually think it became way before that. We had stuff like Initial D Drift Racer that was back in 2005, but going back way before that to 2003, I actually have what started my interest in the drifting world. It's a DVD by Keiichi Tsuchiya, and he is known as the Drift King. He made this DVD called The Drift Bible, and it's an absolutely in-depth documentary that goes through all the processes and techniques of drifting a car. But as I say, drift cars these days are specially race set up and have got different suspensions, because modern cars that can't have its traction controls and ESPs disabled are really made to not let the car do that. So how do you get your drift on? I suppose for most of us who've never drifted in the real world, we turn to computer games or computer simulations. Sims such as Project Cars 2 has actually input drift tune cars, but because it's a serious simulator, they're absolutely incredibly difficult to pull off. So if you want to get your drift on and you don't want to spend hours of technical details, you just want to get and drift, I'm going to introduce to you a game that I didn't even know existed and has been popping up on Steam very recently. In the recent sale, I bought this game for only £4 English. Of course, I'm talking about Absolute Drift Zen edition. So let's jump over to the couch, because I've already got the Xbox controller ready to go, because in my opinion this is what this game needs to be played with, and you'll see why in a minute. Absolute Drift Zen edition, an indie top-down drifting title that I think is one of the best things I've played for a long time, and one of the most difficult things I've played for some time. This game is going to have you hitting that reset button more times than any game you've ever played, but it's something that is so highly rewarding. I am playing Absolute Drift Zen edition on the PC, just in case I get any more questions about consoles. So let's get into this. Oh, I need to add in that probably one of the best things about this game is the music. But so that I don't get copyright strikes, I've actually turned it off. And I think the music goes so much with the game, and it actually relaxes you and helps you get a good drift on. We've loaded up, and on the menu we've got free roam, events, garage, settings and credits and exit. Well, initially when I come into the game I thought, I don't want to do free roam, I want to actually do some events, and I thought that's how the game played. But to be honest, if you go into free roam, we actually go through all the events as well. First thing I just want to do, let's go into the settings, and I want to reset all progress, and let's reset everything except the settings. Now that I've done this, we're going to go into free roam and start the game as if it were from scratch. And as it says there, don't be afraid to use the brakes if you're approaching a curve too fast. Hello, my child. You are here to become a drifting master. Drifting is the art of sliding sideways. Drifting was created in Japan by a race car driver, so he couldn't drive in a straight line. Will require patience. The next time we see each other, you will be a drifting master. So the standard Buddha has just disappeared and we're actually into the game. As you can see on screen, it's telling us how we can use the controller, and I imagine that this car is a Toyota GT86 or something. That's what it looks like. It may not be that. And straight away, I've overcooked it. We can start getting a drift on. This is the free roam area, and as you can see, if we just gently use the power, we should be able to get a nice little drift on. If you hold the power down, you can hear the engine revving hard, and we can get it. And if we gently tickle the power, we can limit how much drifting we do. But let's move on. Let's go through the first bit of this free roaming area and choose the difficulty. Well, as it's quite a difficult game, I'm going to select the medium difficulty, and we're going to move it. So as we move into the different areas, we get these blocks that we can drive into to go through the first part. So let's just go into the drift tutorial. I'll come back round the other side. Ooh, hit the brakes. Ooh, don't crash. Bit of a handbrake, and in we go. Yeah, bad. No one saw that. Let's see it. So we're in the drifting tutorial. Straight away, it gives us some achievements or goals to try and hit. So we've got to score more than 5,000, reach a 2 times multiplier, reach 10 times multiplier, score 15,000, drift 5/6. You can read, you don't need me to tell you what it is. So let's just get into this. So we've got a circle that we've got to drift around, and let's see if we can hit all of the required things. Now we need to get the car drifting, and once it's drifting, we don't want to drift too much by steering too far in the wrong direction. So as long as we can keep the opposite lock on and the power on, we should be able to keep going. But trouble is, you start drifting out wider and wider, so perhaps it'd be better to keep a tighter line. Now what we've done there, because we didn't keep a drift going for long enough, we've actually lost the multiplier. So I think you've got to finally regulate or modulate the throttle, I should say, to keep drifting around. Come on, that's going well. Come on, we can keep doing it. Oh, look at this, baby. We are getting our drift on. That is, oh, no, not too much, not too much. Come on, oh, we're going too fast, we're going too fast. And we finished. So how much of those achievements did we hit? We've done them all apart from the 10 times multiplier. So I just want to try that one again, one more time. Oh, maybe too much, maybe too much. Come on, we're nearly there, don't screw it up, don't screw it up. Drifting, drifting, drifting. Come on. And we've reached the 10 times multiplier. And I've just, come on, quick. Oh, we should have got the achievement anyway, so it's finished. So we did it there that time, now we've got it all. So if we click on finish, we should come back to the main world, and it says to unlock a midnight event you need to complete a minimum number of the events. So we got 5 out of 5 on that, and we now move on to the next area. So in this area we've got tutorial bonus blocks. So if we just drift, the brakes on. Let's just get in there, handbrake and power it in. Too much power. So in this one we've got to smash all the blocks basically. So let's get it on. I find actually drifting and handbraking into them is probably one of the easiest ways to do it. Come on, it's our time limited here. Go on, smashy, smashy. One more. Right, some break through them. Ah, that done nicely. Didn't get that right because let's go through them. Missed that one. Right. Let's quick. 12 seconds. 12 seconds. Come on. We've got more around here. Smashed. Quick. 3 seconds. Go. Oh, and it didn't actually let us get them. We got 8,000 points and we've hit all the things there. And that was a top 5% score, so I'm quite happy with that. So we finished that one. And don't forget to drift. It's the only way to master the game and land the higher things, or whatever it said. So we're moving on, and then clipping points. This is the harder part of the things I find. So if we go straight into that. And let's just play. So clipping points are drifting as close to the poles with the front or rear of the car as is possible. And it's a lot harder than it looks. I find if I get near and handbrake, oh no, restart. Maybe it's easier to go for the inner ones. Let's just go this 100. The faster you go and the more you're drifting as you go past them, the more points you get. Let's rewind. Right, power. Let's try that again. Oh, that was pretty good. Come on, we'll have that. Right, drift. Yep, we got that. Come on. You can't actually drive past them, you have to drift past them. The more you play this game, the better you get. And as you can see, that's why it's called clipping point. You've got to get right past them. Oh, down it all. Come on. Whoa. Right, 1,300 points. No, I'm not brilliant, that I do struggle on that. So let's move on. Now, if you play through the events, you get stuck at this point, and you do come to the tracks. But in World 1 here, this is how you progress to higher levels. There's actually challenges to complete in this open world. So it's saying there, if we drift between both lamps, we should get an achievement. Now, those little spinning things we've got to collect. So let's just see if we can drift between both lamps. There we go. So we got one of them. So drift between the lamp and the hanger. Don't crash into it. So we've done 2 of the 6 missions. If we get this little thing here, we've got 2 of 5. I think one of the missions is to jump over this plane. Right, let's try it again. Come on. And landed on all 4 wheels. Oh yes. Right. So drift between both containers. Oh, sorry about the timer. So we got 4 of the missions done. 2 missions left until we can unlock another world. And coming over, you'll see there's actual drift tracks. And we'll come over to that, but let's just one more there. If we drive through here, we can change the paint of the car, without having to go into the options and change car. All black's a bit too dark for my liking. And now we have an orange car with the sunset stripe. We'll keep that for a minute. So there's another one of the things. So we've got 4 or 5, so there must be one more to get. Let's have a look. Drift between the containers and the radar. 5 or 6 done. So it must be the small little spinny things. And there it is. There's the very last one. So watch the paintwork. So we completed all the missions, and now we could move on to the second world. But in this world we still haven't, and we'd unlocked a new car, we still haven't as yet been to any of the drift tracks. So let's move off to one of the tracks just to show you some of the parts of the game. And let's go into the drift track code. Once again, we've got various things to do. So on this track we're going to have blocks and clipping points. Oh yes, baby. Come on, come on. Oh, nearly. Oh, sorry about the timer. And we've finished that one. So we didn't hit a lot of the stuff there. And what I might do, we'll just finish that one there. Now if you don't want to do any more of the achievements or tracks on this level, because we've unlocked the things, we can we can move into the next level. But before we do, I just want to briefly show you this. That black one there is night racing, and we've got to unlock 4 more event challenges to unlock that. But we don't have to do that if you don't want to. We can move straight into the drift corner. So if we go on to this part of the tutorial, what we actually got to do now is drift around these circles here and do as many as we can. So let's get it drifting. So we've actually done that one. And we have to do it within there. We've got that one. And oh, come on. And we got that one. We'll move on again. Move on to that one. I think if we did figure of 8 here, we might complete this a lot quicker. And we're actually finished. So, yay! We've done all of that one. So we're going to click finish on that event. Now, tutorial spin zones. what I'm going to do before we move on to that, if we move back, I just want to show you the night racing because that's the only bit of this we haven't seen at the minute. So we can drive back to original. It's 4 events in this world. So what I might do, let's find another track that we can go to. If you don't want to do it like this, we can exit back to the main menu, go to events. We've already completed the tutorial drifting and bonus blocks. Clipping points we didn't get enough of, but because we moved on to the next world, we've done the donuts and now we've got the spin zones. But if we move on to the drift tracks, the first one is Hamamatsu, so let's give that a play. So straight in, and these Zen zones, if we get them all perfectly, it plays us a lovely tune. Let's see. I'm not doing this very well. Reset. Oh! I meant to reset then. You are really going to hit the retry and the retry and retry again. Come on, we can do this. Look at it. Yes! Ah! Oh! One mission event challenge to do, and then we can show you the night racing. Finally unlock the midnight event. So let's go back to the free roam, and I'll just show you this because at night the drifting is even harder than it is in the day. So let's just spin this around. Straight into the night events. So all we've got now is our headlights lit up to illuminate the way. Let's see if we can get around this corner without crashing. Not bad. Now the idea is to be drifting around these corners. So just purely driving around, we're not going to be getting the points. And there is some blocks there to hit. And I've completely gone straight past them, but we're still drifting, we're still getting our drift on, and this is probably one of the better runs that I've ever done. Some clipping points here, so... Oh no, that didn't go up, that didn't go up. Yeah, that was a bit whack. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, that weren't too bad. We'll take that. We'll have that. Oh, sorry about that. Yep. Right. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Didn't drift past that. And across the line. So that is pretty much Absolute Drift. The Zen edition was the update to it, and we've completed all the missions on this side now. So as we saw earlier, we had the drift corner, we got that tutorial that we've gone through. I'm not going to go into this tutorial, I'm just going to go into the second world. Oh, sorry, crashing. And as I said earlier, what I didn't realise, when you're in the world, if you complete the challenges like that, you just keep unlocking the next world, so you don't have to complete every single objective in each race. Quickly, I can show you before we go. If we go back to the main menu, you don't actually have to drive to the garage. If we dip into the garage, we can actually swap cars, and this sort of reminds me of like looking like a bit of a Toyota Supra. Ooh. Oh, I like the raster stripes. Let's go with the rising sun though. Let's go back and let's go back into that free road. We're in world 2. So this straight away seems like a rear drive car, and we've got more power, so spin under the crane, and I think it's giving us the direction which we need to spin. So we just sorted a mission out there. Woo! Thank you for watching the Absolute Drift Zen videos, and I'll be back with me, Houseborn's World, with some more videos very soon. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.